Welcome back to the show that spends way too much time talking about fictional orphans and how they use their wealth to punch the mentally unstable in the face. We have a wonderful show in store for you today filled with spectacular news, amazing packs, and a sensational showdown when we celebrate National Batman Day by deciding once and for all what the greatest Batman movie of all time is. Speaking of Batman, let's kick it to the news. James Gunn decided to toy with us last week. Very rude. While we were filming last week's episode, James Gunn posted the official cast list for his upcoming Suicide Squad film that is kinda a reboot, but also sorta a sequel. The point is, a lot of these castings we were already pretty familiar with. Viola Davis, Margot Robbie, and Jai Courtney are all reprising their roles, but the slate reveals so many more surprises with names such as Pete Davidson, Michael Rooker, Idris Elba, Taika Waititi, and John Cena! What roles these actors will play is still up in the air, but we here at Nerd Central are happy that the squad is in capable hands. In other overly satisfying DC news, a long-suspected rumor has finally been confirmed. This year will mark one of the biggest events in superhero television, the Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths. The CW crossover episodes always have a few surprises for us, but this year we already had a big reveal at Comic-Con when Brandon Routh of Superman Returns announced he would reprise his role of Superman, but as the Superman of the Kingdom Come continuity. Well, we just got hit with the bombshell because he's not the only Superman returning for the event. We finally have confirmation that Tom Welling is returning as the Clark Kent from the popular TV series Smallville. All of this gets our expectations way too high and makes us nervous as Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of the biggest and most tragic events in comic history. DC fans know whose death I'm talking about. Speaking of big deaths, it's almost time for Scary Movie 202. Let's see what kind of spooks Bailey has in store for us this week. Take it away.
Hello, I'm Bailey Ramsey and welcome back to Scary Movie 202, where I'll be diving into different scary movies every week. This week we'll be looking at the 2017 Netflix original, The Babysitter. This movie is about a 12-year-old boy, Cole, and his babysitter, Bee. Not a bee that babysits, but a human named Bee. Cole decides to stay up after his bedtime to see what Bee does when he's asleep. He witnessed Bee and 5 other high school students playing Spin the Bottle Truth or Dare. When it comes to Bee kissing the nerd of the group, Samuel, he gets what he wants, but suddenly dies by being stabbed in the head with 2 knives. Cole was watching from the top of the stairs and man was he shook. He then called the cops and waited for their arrival. The teens went upstairs to get some blood from Cole, which they thought he was out cold because Bee had given him a shot of alcohol with some meds that would knock him out. The twist is, he poured it out in a nearby plant. Bee caught him trying to sneak out after they took his blood and he had passed out, then he woke up tied to a chair. Long story short, the cops showed up but they are killed by the crazy teens and Cole fights for his life against the group. One of my friends recommended this movie to me and I highly regret watching it. This movie was actual trash. I'd pick it up off the floor and throw it away kind of trash. At first I thought I was watching a cute movie, but then it took a weird turn. Bee and her friends are devil worshippers, trying to get what they want from him. There was a part of the movie where Cole starts to freak out on the top of the stairs and the camera was supposed to add an effect, but it was so trashy, they totally could have done a better job. I was also surprised to see Bella Thorne, Robbie Amell, Leslie Bibb, and Hannah Lee in this movie. Hannah Lee played in all 3 Pitch Perfects, Leslie Bibb played in Talladega Nights along with Tag, Robbie Amell played in The Duff, Max, and American Pie Prison's Beta House. All these people have been in really great movies, but I was very disappointed to see them in this crap film. I would really like to know how they convinced them to act in this movie. This movie has a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't understand. It was completely dumb and nothing was realistic about it. Cole blows up one of Bee's friends under the house and the flames blew him back and gets up with a little struggle, but he totally should have had some broken bones. The house also should have caught on fire from that. Bella Thorne's character gets shot on the left side of her chest and somehow lives through that. Cole steals his neighbor's car and wrecks it into his house. There's absolutely no way he would have been fine. He didn't put his seatbelt on and the car landed upside down and he crawls out of it like nothing even happened. I like when movies make things realistic, and this movie had none of that. I don't know if it was bad because it's a Netflix original or because the whole idea was just bad, but I'm pretty sure I lost brain cells while watching this movie. I'm gonna give this movie 1 out of 10 Ooga Boogas. It didn't spark my interest at all. I got bored of watching it, and it wasn't even scary. Thank you for watching Scary Movie 202. I'll catch you next week when we look at Truth or Dare.
Well, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson here. Always screen your babysitters. It's time to get into some angry news. Sony has proceeded to thin its own ice with basically just every movie fan in general. Not only did they take out beloved Spider-Man out of the MCU, but now they are trying to ruin one of the greatest movies of all time. That's right, Sony is planning to remake The Princess Bride. This news really angers a couple of our very own crew members who got to meet both Wallace Shaw and Carrie Elwes at Planet Comic-Con last year. What does the original cast think about this? Well, Carrie Elwes has been quoted saying this, quote, "There is a great shortage of perfect movies in the world. It would be a shame to ruin this one," end quote. Sony, we here at Nerd Central think it's best that you just do as the fans wish. Well, Sony may not be making the smartest decisions, but let's take it to Katie and see what she thinks of the house that is.
Are you all ready for another blast from the past? I'm Katie, and this week on Underrated, we are talking about the movie from Disney Channel, Smart House. It's been a while since this movie was shown on Disney Channel, so let me refresh your memory. This movie follows the Cooper family living in the 90s, and after they lost their mother, Ben, starred by Ryan Merriman, feels the need to take care of his family. Him, his sister, and his dad are struggling to keep up with everything going on in the house. Because of this, Ben decides to enter a competition to be able to win a smart house. This smart house is supposed to take care of all of the household chores. And what do you know? They win, of course. As they go to their new house named Pat, they meet the creator of the house, Sarah Barnes. Ben's dad begins to date the creator of the house, and Ben does not like this. Ben decides to change the house settings. Little did he know that that would not turn out as planned. Pat, the house, becomes more and more overbearing. Sarah decides to shut the house down, but this technology is so advanced that the house somehow turns itself back on. Not only does the house turn itself back on, but the house turns into a holographic form of a mom. To get this all under control, Ben tells Pat that she isn't their real mom, and they all live happily ever after. To be honest, this isn't my favorite Disney movie out there. There are just so many things that I find confusing about this movie. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the concept of having a house that does everything for you is pretty cool, but you're telling me that someone is going to make this amazing house and just give it away for free? There are just so many cringy moments that looking back I'd never noticed before. They literally start off with Ben's dad and sister talking about how they all need a new mom and that it's just gonna happen out of thin air. Like the first date, automatically you get a new mom. I just think, calm down. The movie just started and we're trying to see if you guys get a house, not a date. When they find out that they win, they go and take a tour of this house. This just gets to be interesting, I guess you could say. The house has green screens and can make whatever you ask it to make in seconds. The part of the tour that just makes my eyes roll is when Ben's sister drops the milkshake. And when I say she drops it, she literally throws it on the ground and the floor just absorbs it. Like, wouldn't that make the floor smell bad or something? Like, I just don't get how it just poof and everything is totally fine. After they move into the house, Pat has some malfunction, which means that Sarah has to come over and fix her. And you know that that means that Ben's dad is going to ask her to stay for dinner, which is completely awkward because Ben's dad is flirting with her in front of his children, and Ben is basically just being a brat and telling her that she didn't do anything for them when she gave them a house. And it just makes for an awkward dinner conversation. So after Ben reprograms her, they get locked inside a crazy house that shocks them every time anyone touches a door handle. Sarah shuts down the house. Not only does it come back to life, but it comes back to life as a person. A holographic person, that is. I do think this movie was really good for its time. I mean, who would have thought in the late 90s of having a house that does everything for you? And this movie is definitely underrated. I mean, nowadays, I don't even think kids have seen this movie, and this movie is something that I always watched. Out of 10 Mickey Mouse ears, I give Smart House 5 Mickey Mouse ears. Now, like I said, it was really good for its time, but watching it back, it's just so cringy. We will see you next week for another blast from the past.
I still wish that I lived in that house. Please enjoy this commercial break while I think about how much dumber my house is. back to Nerd Central, a place where your fried chicken isn't hiding a secret underground meth lab. We've known for a while that Breaking Bad saga will be continued with a movie entitled El Camino. In the last few days of the summer, we even received a trailer. The film will be following Jesse Pinkman after the end of the series and how he has been avoiding arrest for all of these years. This was originally said to be a Netflix exclusive, but we have just received word that people without a subscription will be in luck. El Camino will be coming to select theaters as well, but you better be on the fast gun if that's your plan, because it will only be in theaters for 3 days. Still better than nothing though. El Camino releases October 11th. One Marvel original series has already been axed before it even aired a pilot. Marvel's The New Warriors was supposed to be a new step in the Disney Plus stage of the MCU. To be fair, the amount of people that would be excited about a New Warriors series is a very niche audience. If you are unfamiliar with The New Warriors, it is essentially a reality TV show about superheroes within the Marvel Universe. They are teenagers desperate to prove themselves as real heroes, but since they are part of this reality TV show, big-name heroes like the Avengers are constantly looking down on them. While on the subject of Disney Plus content, the entire slate of what will be on the streaming service at launch, and ooh boy, it's greater than we could have ever imagined. This truly could be the Netflix killer, as it includes every Marvel movie, every Marvel cartoon, every Star Wars movie, almost every Disney Channel original, all of the Disney Renaissance, including the direct-to-video sequels, and much, much more. I'm gonna throw it to Cody with Roundtable Reviews because apparently he watched a movie, and then we'll see what Emma has at Nerd Games. Take it away.
I'm Cody Nance and welcome to Roundtable Review, the show within a show that lets me watch a movie every week. But when can I watch a good movie? Last night I saw the final chapter in the Rambo saga, Last Blood, and unfortunately I wish I hadn't. Now, of course, you don't go into Rambo 5 thinking, I can't wait to see some great performances. But wow, I expected them to try a lot harder than this. I don't know whether to blame the writers, actors, or their director, but everyone speaks to each other like this for 1 hour and 41 minutes. The only one trying here is Sly. This movie has 3 phases. Phase 1 is a bad soap opera. Rambo has a niece that's basically his daughter, and she wants to find her dad. Phase 2 is literally Taken. Like, unapologetically a ripoff of Taken. One of the bad guys even says, I will find you and I will kill you. That's not an exaggeration. That's a line in the movie. And then phase 3 is what we all came to see. Rated R, Home Alone. So how's the action? After all, this is a Rambo movie. The action is gloriously over the top, but there's not nearly enough of it. The Home Alone phase is really the only big set piece in the whole film, and these bad guys aren't menacing in the slightest. Not once do you ever feel like these guys could ever take on Rambo. To the point that while Rambo was just brutally murdering these people, I started laughing. I'm not gonna spoil the final kill, but I was shaking because I was trying so hard to be courteous to my fellow moviegoers and not just die laughing. The best part of the movie is during the credits, when they play a bunch of clips from the 4 good Rambo movies. I love Rambo. It's just depressing to know that this is the finale of this beloved franchise. I don't think I'll ever watch this again when better action movies like John Wick exist. Rambo Last Blood gets a 4 out of 10. This series really should have listened to the quote from First Blood. Live for nothing or die for something.
What is up, my fellow nerds, and welcome to Nerd Games. My name is Emma Bjork, and this week we are playing the blindfolded book cover drawing challenge. My guest and I will be attempting to draw randomly selected book covers while not being able to see. This week I have special guest
Cynthia Fisher.
Whoop whoop. All right.
Okay, I will draw a book then. Okay.
I chose Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That's one that I actually read. We have 30 seconds, by the way.
What?
All right.
This is so bad. I know it is.
I think I'm running out of room already, and I only
don't know
wrote
where
the
I'm
title.
writing. Oh, I wrote the wrong letter.
Oh wait.
Oh, how do you spell Azkaban? A-Z, Azkaban.
And
Oh, I
there's
forgot to
a-
draw Harry Potter. Oh, wasn't he riding the eagle or the griffin in the... I put him on the wrong side.
I feel like I've drawn everything I know how to draw.
I just wrote J.K. Rowling in all caps except for the I. I forgot the and. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. There's Harry Potter. Oh my gosh, I put the lightning bolt on his forehead.
Oh my god. I tried to give him a beak, but I missed
that's the
his
end.
face.
I love that. But I did a pretty good broomstick.
You did a great broomstick.
Harry
except
Potter
it's on
looks
his
good.
neck.
Harry Potter looks great.
He
The rest of
does.
it looks like garbage. All right, City of Fallen Angels. Oh shoot, where did the other guy go?
Oh no, she doesn't have legs.
Frowny
That's not what I
face.
meant.
And Cassandra Claire at the bottom. Oh, I spelled her
wearing
name
a
wrong.
Dress. I think I'm missing her face.
Okay.
No.
Ha! Their eyes aren't even on them.
See, I tried to give her a dress, but I went a little too far.
Right. Well, if I can't
And
remember,
this is supposed to be hair, but I missed a little bit.
I love that. I drew flames, literal flame, and then two little dudes with X's for eyes, but their eyes aren't on their
But you
faces.
missed their eyes a little bit.
I did. I missed them a lot of it. Pretties. Oh, I already know what I'm gonna do for that.
Oh gosh.
I
I know what uglies looks like, but what does pretties?
Well, I know what uglies looks like.
What are you drawing?
The eye. Because doesn't one of them have an eye on the cover? Don't most of them have an eye on the cover? And then I
For
drew a
what?
For pretties.
No,
It doesn't?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it does. So, I've got.
It's okay, look at mine.
What is that?
Thank you for coming out this week. We've had so much fun today. Join us next week for another fabulous game of the nerds.
Wow, what a lovely cover. That's gonna do it for me, but stick around after the break and celebrate National Batman Day with us, the only way we know how, by arguing about which movie represents him best. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Nerd Showdown, the part of Nerd Central where we battle it out on a particular topic that we have no business debating. In order to properly celebrate National Batman Day, we are asking the question, what is the greatest Batman film of all time? With me today, I have the producer of Channel 8 News and Weekend Sports Kickoff, Bradley Justice.
Hi, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Bradley, what film have you chosen?
Batman Under the Red Hood.
And his opponent, creator of the Cooper Challenge over on Gen 2, Keegan Cooper.
Hi.
Keegan, which movie did you pick?
Batman, The Dark Knight.
Well, this week we're going to start things off with Bradley. Bradley, why don't you tell us why Batman Under the Red Hood is the best Batman film?
I think Batman Under the Red Hood is the best Batman film because it goes off of a story arc that's not relatively seen. You've seen the Banes, the Scarecrows, you know, the Riddlers, stuff like that, but having this anti-hero as the main, and in fact, you can even call him the protagonist too, if you want to even go that far, the Red Hood. You know, Fallen Robin, Jason Todd, they started fighting. The Red Hood is just such a great anti-villain, or an anti-hero. And that and the main thing that I want to talk about is the point where he just goes, Batman, you've tried to stop the crime. You can't stop crime, you can only control it, and that's what I'm doing. He looking at the Joker, he just goes, this person has put so many people in graveyards, and that's all I'm asking is just this person. One life for many. Is that so hard? And Batman and then Batman revealing his trick, obviously saying, right, you don't understand, I would love to kill somebody. I would love to kill him, but I can't, because right when I go down that path, it'd be too easy for me to stay down that path, and I would never come back. And it just shows the origins of not only the conflict that he had with his, and what he agrees with is his one true failure in his life, which is taking this broken kid that was stealing wheels off the Batmobile, and then turning him and giving him a home, giving him a family, helping him change the world. And then now he's changing the world, but in the way Batman doesn't want him to change the world.
All right, interesting argument. Keegan, why do you think that The Dark Knight succeeds in this sort of competition?
I think that The Dark Knight succeeds because you start to see, when you watch this movie, the question of, is Batman going to be around forever? Is he going to have to be in Gotham forever? And Batman goes through this, or Bruce Wayne goes through this thought process of, does he decide, to be Batman forever, or does he leave that role and does he go find, something else? When you watch it, you get everything that you want in a Batman film. And what's nice about it is part of a trilogy, so you get this ongoing story and you get more. You get the action from the fight scenes. You get Joker, which is what people know Batman to be, that villain, Joker. Heath Ledger, who plays it, did an amazing job of portraying who the Joker was, and this give and take between Batman and between the Joker. You see that when you watch it, that's what you want when you watch a Batman movie. You want the Joker because that's what everyone knows, that's what everyone loves, that villain. And then you want the action scenes. You want this tough and rough guy, but then you also want the calm and cool and collected Bruce Wayne. The girl gets captured. It's everything that you want. You see the addition of Two-Face in this movie and Harvey Dent and all of that. That's what you look for in a Batman film. I don't know. It's very interesting to me because it progresses on the start of the story from Batman Begins, and it builds on what everyone has seen this story of Batman to be and to become, and it leads the question, kind of leads you on a cliffhanger: is Batman gonna be around forever, or is Gotham gonna need a hero? Gotham obviously needs a hero forever, but is that hero gonna be Batman?
All right. Bradley, let's hear your take on The Dark Knight. Why do you think it's not quite up to the Red Hood standard?
Okay, so one of the scenes in Dark Knight that everyone claims is like the greatest in cinema history, one of the greatest in cinema history, is the one where Heath Ledger and the Joker comes out with all the gang members at the board meeting and says, "Here, let me show you a magic trick," and sort of situations like that. That's easily countered by the way Joker presents himself in the Red Hood with the water. Like, it's so much better.
That is a better scene, I'll give you that.
So you can't really compare those two scenes because we know which one's better in those. And then is he gonna figure out where he got the scars from? He's gonna tell somebody two ways? Like, he's waffling over here, man. He's just like, which one can stir up more fear? Like, I understand he's insane, but come on, man. Also, the main point on this is, though, in this movie, he has a plan. He has a plan throughout the whole thing. He has a plan. In the Red Hood, he has no plan at all. It's just him reacting and him acting. Like, that's what the Joker is. Joker is all about chaotic. He has no compassion, and he's all about being chaotic. And in here, he has a plan throughout the whole entire time. And that's not what the Joker's about.
Interesting point. Keegan, your rebuttal. Why do you think that Under the Red Hood is not quite up to the live action standard?
Well, to be honest, the first thing I think of when I think of Red Hood is Little Red Riding Hood, and to me that's not a very good.
Okay.
I wouldn't think about that, but Red Hood, I don't think it lives up to the expectation, just because it's not what I would consider a true Batman film that you're going to look for. You want that give and take. You want that story. I don't think that Red Hood lives up to the expectation as Dark Knight does, because it's not this esoteric, amazing action film that you see. It has those action scenes, but it's not that give and take between Batman and Joker. It skews away from the original story that majority of people know. When you ask the question, what Batman movies have you seen? majority of people are going to say that they've seen other movies rather than Red Hood. They're going to think about the first villain. It's Joker. It's not going to be this other off-scale scene where is this guy really who he is? And you took this kid and you saved him, but where did he even come from? Where majority of people are going to think, okay, Batman, obviously the main villain is Joker, and then you get these other villains like Two-Face and Scarecrow. Those are what people know. They don't know the story of Red Hood, so that's why I believe it's superior.
All right, well, Bradley, why don't you wrap everything up in a neat little red bow for us? Why is your film the superior Batman film?
My Batman film is the superior Batman film because Batman always knows he always knows that he can physically outmatch the Joker, and that's no question. But he's always having a hard time trying to be one step ahead of the Joker, in which the Joker always seems to be, sometimes. But now with the Red Hood, Jason Todd, he's found a match. He's found somebody that knows who Batman is, Bruce Wayne, and the fact that he knows all of his toys, he knows all of his stuff, and even the scene where in the Batcave when he's talking to Dick Grayson, Nightwing, he just goes, "How many people do you know how to cut my lines?" No one. He must be trained. And then a couple scenes later, it shows him being trained by Batman to cut a line before it yanks. So it's one of those things where he finally found somebody, or somebody finally found him, where he's an equal in both mind, body, and even gadgets.
All right. Keegan, Dark Knight, let's hear it.
Batman the Dark Knight is the superior Batman film because it's what every person at home in America that enjoys a good Batman film is looking for. It has the action scenes, it has the villains, it has Joker, it has Two-Face, it has the love scenes, it has this quarrel of you don't know what's going to happen. It keeps you on your feet, it has the action scenes. Bruce Wayne and Batman in this one, Christian Bale does a great job of portraying what we want to think about when we think about Batman. What does he really think about? What's going through his head? Is Batman going to be in Gotham forever?
The greatest Batman film of all time is Mask of the Phantasm, so you're both wrong. I just want you to let you know. But based on the arguments that I just heard today, Bradley is the least wrong. So
Yes.
You win, Brad.
Yes.
That's going to do it for this week. You can watch all of our previous episodes on the KNWT YouTube page. You can also follow KNWT on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can follow Nerd Central on Twitter at nerd_central_TV. Nerdmageddon is up next. We'll see you next week on an all-new Nerd Central.